Chicken livers are far more delicious than most people realize because they're rarely given the treatment that they need to really shine. In fact, the old world classic French method of cooking chicken livers can hardly even be found in a cookbook these days, surprisingly. This lost art is not especially difficult, and the results are so good that even people who think they hate liver usually love this.
The first step here is you get a container with some ice cubes, water in it. Chicken livers are fairly inexpensive, in fact quite inexpensive, so you can be pretty ruthless, merciless with how you trim them. Just find where the major vein is here, and you kind of work your knife and scrape it. Now you get a piece like this. This is too large. This lobe will not cook evenly, so we're going to cut it in half like this, and we'll put it in the bucket of ice water. We'll come back to this later. And we repeat the same process. If you've got large pieces that come off away from this, give them a cut in half, throw them in, and just repeat it. And eventually you've got a bowl full of nicely cut pieces, still very cold with the ice bath. The reason you do this is that especially the cut surface of the liver will start to change flavor very quickly left out in the air at room temperature. You don't want that. That's part of what gives you the bad liver flavor. So you get it into the ice bath as soon as possible. After the livers have been cleared with water, you weigh them. I've got 250 grams here, which is enough for about 30 milliliters of cognac, a little fresh ground black pepper, a little salt, and now we begin marinating these in the cognac for a little while.
Give them a stir once in a while. After about 10 or 15 minutes, begin heating the fat in the pan to cook them in.
Good quality non-stick pan. I'm using my lipid of choice for this, which is duck fat. Good dollop, a little bit more than a tablespoon of duck fat. You can use ghee, you can use olive oil if you want to. Duck fat's really the best if you have it. I'm going to let this get hot, and in the meantime we're going to drain those chicken livers. After draining them in a sieve, put them on paper towels or cloths. Press down a little bit. You want to try to get as much of that moisture out of them as you can, because they won't brown properly if they're too wet. They're going to be a little bit wet because it's just the nature of liver, but you don't want them dripping wet. Okay. Not only will it cause a lot of splattering, but they just won't get that nice texture on the outside that they will if you can dry them off some. Okay, let's get to the pan that's hot now. And if you have a digital infrared thermometer, you're looking for about 300 degrees. Otherwise, you can just wait until the duck fat, if you're using duck fat, stops spitting, because that means that all the water's evaporated and it's around 300 degrees. Okay. Now, I got 250 grams of these chicken livers, which is too much to do at one time. So I'm going to put about half of them in, do them in 2 batches. You don't want to overwhelm the pan, it'll lower the temperature. Plus the livers will steam more than they fry, which you don't want. Okay, we're not going to stir them around too much here. $30 to 40 seconds here. You don't want to overcook them. And in most applications that I use them for, they're going to end up being cooked a second time later. This is kind of a pre-cook, and then in a pasta or something, they're going to get warmed and cooked a little bit more. So I really want to aim for the rare side now. And that's about it. They look firm, they look fine. And transfer them off to a bowl and repeat the same process with the rest of them. The same fat. You can use the same fat 2 times. Now once they're drained, let them cool down. You'll find that there's quite a bit of liquid here in the bottom that's going to run off of them. You can use this in a pasta dish, especially puttanesca. Really good thing to add to puttanesca. I like using these livers with it as well, but you can just slice these up and eat them the way they are too. They're really delicious.
If you want to know more about my adventures as a chef around the world and have some great laughs along the way, be sure to check out the video tour of my book, 40 Years in One Night. It's up on YouTube right now. Click the link. If you like my videos, look for my cookbook, now available through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other internet bookseller sites. Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.